Hey everybody, welcome to today's React with Tom MacDonald's Facts with featuring Ben Shapiro. I had a headphone malfunction. I was just covering what I liked and didn't like about both Ben Shapiro and Tom. I don't know anything about Tom. This is his first video that I'm reacting to, and I've never seen any of his work, so this is the first. And Ben Shapiro, I like some of his work. I like the fact that he's straightforward, to the point, and he's facts behind it, science behind it, research, like everything is there. I just don't always agree with the opinions that he follows up with the facts, and the fact that he's the way he delivers his messages sometimes come off worse because he has a difficult time showing um, emotion, maybe some compassion, but everything has always got fact behind it. He always does this research. I like that. It's just sometimes the opinions are either a little too far right, or they just don't really uh, work with the lack of compassion on them. But I hope you guys enjoy this video.
They call me offensive, controversial. There's only two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message cause I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every cock
2 seconds. Let's see. I got a headset issue, so let's see.
Asians a bigot, I guess
go.
every Muslim's a terrorist, every liberal is right. I don't wanna talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope is pathetic. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressive, but you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it. Where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow. This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream. You can riot in the streets. You defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man. I'm the man who don't respect.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison. I'm on television. Dog, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
All right, so I kind of surprises me. It's still hilarious that he, even through this whole song, with just the typical Ben Shapiro, just that lack of emotion and empathy in his face, but he's hitting everything right on. I don't know. I don't know if if they literally meant to say Nikki catch on, but that's kind of funny. But they're hitting it, and I like the fact that they're really they're getting there about basically hitting some controversial topics in this. And I'm actually really surprised. I did not know how Ben Shapiro was going to do in a rap video when it came to the beat. But at the same time, it's not really that surprised because they basically just took a normal Ben Shapiro. Because if you ever seen any of his interviews or anything that he does where he's actually speaking, he actually speaks fast for on average. So it's not a surprise that they just had a beat that just so happened to fit his normal talking speed, and maybe even went up a little bit more. But so far, I'm actually kind of enjoying the song. They're hitting on some pretty relevant topics, especially for this. I'm not sure if I agree with everything that they're 100% saying, but it's really good. It's a really nice beat to it so far. But I'm going to continue.
Rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream, you can riot in the streets. You defunded the police, now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man. I'm the man who don't respect you. You mad, you mad, you mad. I guess it's cool to be the victim, well, I'ma be the man. You sad, you sad, you sad. You just try to get attention, being triggered's all you have. You mad, you mad, you mad. You blame everybody else for every problem that you can. You sad, you sad, you sad. I will never say I'm sorry, I ain't taking nothing back. I don't care if I offend you.
Yeah, so that's actually a lot of it I agree with. I'm liking the song. I like the beat, the slowdown. Um, I don't know, saying what would Ben do other than bringing facts forward and basically doing the proper research. There's certain situations I don't know if Ben would be the perfect person for that situation. Because if the world were actually to break down, go into a civil war or something, I don't know. Outside of reporting on that, I don't know I don't know how much more Ben would do. But the fact that Ben does his research and actually gets the facts, I think that's what they're going at with that. Um, he's really being hitting controversial topics, hitting on my pronouns because that's a huge issue with today's media. Even though in my opinion, that's not really that big a deal. You introduce yourself, somebody says, "Oh, hey, by the way, I prefer if you refer to me as this." Great, cool, move on. Just throw it out and rub it in somebody's face. That's usually what I'm not for. A lot of the things are basically saying that they're not going to push this motion, do that. We're not going to turn your kids. We're not going to, all that all can be agreed with. Very relatable on that one. But yeah, there's just controversial topics that they got in there. But it makes for a great song. The video's actually really good, and I'm gonna see if Ben hits another line of work here as we continue.
I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream, you can riot in the streets. You defunded the police, now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect.
Yeah, so sticking to the facts, keeping it real, and they don't care if they offend. That in all actuality, there's a lot of people that feel that way, and they're just speaking on that fact, and it's actually really true. With today's society, everybody is very wrapped up in their feelings, and it makes it difficult. I know that with a lot of the jobs that I've worked, it's difficult to work with somebody who's always in their feelings because sometimes you just got to get the job done. Sometimes you just got to get the point across. Sometimes things just need to happen. And I get that. I feel it. The frustration's there. Talking about rioting in the streets, screaming at the top of their lungs. So it's unfortunately this is America. You're allowed to do that sort of stuff. And sometimes just speaking your opinion isn't enough. By bringing people together, freaking screaming that out. The only thing that you shouldn't do is riot because riots usually bring violence. They bring destruction, property damage, those sort of things. So this is a very much trying to hit on those key points. And I thought, in a way, I'm kind of on Don McDonald's side with this song, but I understand that the other side of the spectrum, and with both of them being very much right wing, I know how I can see how the leftist side thinkers might actually find this controversial, and it's there. He's so far from what I understand, he likes to make songs that are controversial, and I think the whole point here is to try to get people to start thinking, to start actually checking the facts, start doing things. What would Ben do? Ben would do the research, he would check the facts, and he would bring it forward. He might had his opinion on top of it, but not. But his opinions are still based off of a fact, off of research, off of statistics. Everything is there, so he doesn't come unprepared. So let's get to the end of this song. Oh, that was it. So I just paused it a bit short. So yeah, no, I like that song. It's very much. I like how Ben had that very short just run through that he did because it's really the sore topic right now with the way that the country is. We've got Texas fighting Biden and all the freaking Republican governors trying to side with Texas, while at the same time we have Yemen and Hamas and um, Iran with, and then Russia, and it's just there's a lot of chaos going on right now, very much chaos, and um, they're just hitting the points of dig, find the facts, don't let the media, don't let social media, don't let anybody influence your opinion when you have found facts and you drive them. And guys, just make sure that you're verifying those facts, making sure the resource that you're getting those facts from is actually credible and they've actually done the right thing. I understand that some of these media sources like ABC, Fox, um, CNN, NBC, like it's yeah, you would think that they're credible, but even with them, you still want to kind of do your research, go behind it, go do that. You can literally go into these government websites if you've got a senator, congressperson, or even the president themselves. There's usually on the government websites, they literally have sub websites of their own where they talk about certain things that they're doing within their own respective communities and actually doing your research, figuring it out. Because in all actuality, a lot of these things going on, a lot of these riots that are happening they're nationwide. They've become nationwide issues, but everybody needs to remember that these all start at state levels. Like you need to be getting with your state representatives and get your governors and everybody all on board and get it all handled within the state before spreading it across the nation. Well, I'm seeing a lot of these riots and everything where they're just basically jumping straight to a nationwide issue rather than just trying to get everybody in their state to do it. And I understand that a lot of the times on the media, when you see that one state's doing something, it might spark an interest for everybody else to do it. But that's where we need to be starting. Everybody needs to have the conversation and get everybody in their city on board, and then take it to the next town, the next city, and get them on board. Get your whole state on board, because the states are where they're going to make the change. Because technically, in all actuality, the federal government is supposed to be dealing with international issues, and the states are supposed to be dealing with the nation issues. But we're not seeing that right now. There's a lot of chaos going on, both left and right. Nobody's agreeing. I know everybody is one side or the other. The Republicans are fighting each other on a lot of topics. The Democrats are just keeping hush on some topics, but then they've got AOC targeting certain groups, while at the same time you've got the Republicans targeting her and the Democrats for other things. It's just a big fight, big chaos. And right now, as a nation, we have to come together and actually for us, right? I know that we rely on the troops to protect our borders, but from international wars and chaos from coming here, but within our own states, within our own state borders, that's us. That's what we have to do as citizens, and that's in a way that's what we need to be doing is teaching our children the Constitution, actually reading the Constitution word for word, and not allowing our government or our representatives to redefine those things and basically push that down our children's throats. Because when you redefine those things, it gives room to allow them to change it. And they've already mentioned changing our Constitution more than once, and that is something I'm very much against. I don't mind changing laws. I don't do this as long as it operates within the Constitution. And if they want to talk about our military support and our military doing this and not disobeying orders, they got to remember that that technically every service member, when they swear to protect the Constitution of the United States. They don't swear to protect any individual in the United States. It's the Constitution that they swear to, and that is really a big thing that they need to do. Um, but we need to that's something that we all have to come together for. And I really they're doing their best to try to come up with a message, but it's the actual citizens that need to actually take and expand on that, actually make it to where we're doing our research and actually doing things. And technically we shouldn't be having it to where we're having a border crisis and then we have people running up to our troops at the border yelling at them. What's that going to accomplish? I don't understand. I didn't understand that when I saw it, because instead of running up and yelling and trying to freaking throw your authority towards them, what you need to be doing is you need to be freaking looking the other way and figuring out why these issues are happening and what's going on. Because when you start to realize that the reason why Texas started doing what they were doing is because they ran out of the building to house these immigrants. And we're seeing it in New York, where New York ran out of housing, and they had to start freaking taking housing from schools and hotels and everything else. It's becoming a big issue. And the thing is, the reason why everybody's flocking to the United States is because somebody in their country sold them a dream about the United States that may not be accurate, but at the same time, because the mass numbers of people that are coming in undocumented, it leaves room for people who should not be here, people who are illegal, people who do peddle drugs, people who do things, even war criminals and everything else are going to find their ways into those cracks by using those sheer numbers of people coming over the border to get in. And those are the things that we're trying to get out of. They literally, I think it was in Arizona, they ended up catching a terrorist, somebody a part of a terrorist group trying to make it across the border. They actually caught him, but there's how many other people made it across that we don't know, and that might be the reason why we're actually having some of these attacks on some of these Jewish people and some of these other things, is because the wrong people are making their way in that want to push their agenda onto America, and we have to do something. I understand at one point in time we never protected our borders. We didn't have to protect our borders, but in the 1920 is when they first had to actually crack down on the border, and it wasn't because they wanted to try to stop a certain demographic of people from coming in. No, it was because the world was changing. We had to change with the world, and the only way to protect our nation is to protect our borders. And whether we like it or not, that's the way it is. And it's not that we completely close them off. We have certain avenues for people to come through that are legal, but the problem is they're slow, and that's the reason why the illegals are trying to make their way around those areas. So what we need to be doing is focusing on why we don't have enough people at those checkpoints to process. What is the issue? Are we lacking the number of people? Is the computer systems that we're using outdated? Is the mails that, and then the courtrooms, the court dates? We have a lot of people who've made it through those checkpoints that are still waiting on court dates. There have been people who have been waiting on court dates for 3 years. Even I've heard as far out as 20 years of waiting for a court date just so that they can get a hearing, so they can just start becoming a U.S. citizen. So these are issues, these are topics that we need to be looking into as a nation and figuring out where the ball is being dropped. Stop relying on the government to fix that for us. We as people need to step up, do our research, stop fighting left from right, and we need to start to come together and actually look at it. Let the politicians think that they're actually running everything. We need to do our research and then start doing what we need to do within the law to actually push this stuff forward. So that's one of the things. And just know that you may not agree with everything that Ben Shapiro says, but he's trying to bring facts forward so that at least you're absolutely informed. At least from his side, from his research, you're fully informed. But you don't always take your information from one source. You always want to try to source it out. It's similar to buying a car. If you if you talk to your grandfather, if they're still alive, they'll tell you you never buy the first car that comes your way. You do your research, and you basically buy a car from a handful of cars rather than just buying the first one that comes along. And it's the same thing. You don't take the news face value. You have to take news from multiple sources and then make your decision, your determination from that. If this got a little political, I apologize, but this is definitely an issue that needs to be addressed, and I hope more people get behind it and actually start doing the research and actually start challenging your senators and congressmen. Because I think, in my opinion, I don't like the fact that we have certain senators and congressmen that are in office, and they've been in office since the Great Depression. They literally lived through the Great Depression. Some of them were in office during that, and they saw what happened and caused the Great Depression. And we're starting to see some of these things repeat. How can history repeat itself if you live through history? I've never understood that. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys found this very informative, and I hope you guys continue to watch my reacts. Please let me know if I got a little bit too right or left on this. I tried to keep it within the video. I got a little carried away, I understand. But let me know if there's another artist, if there's any video out there that you guys would like to see my reaction for. Go ahead, let me know, send it my way, and I will do the best I can to get through that. But yeah, as always, please leave your likes and everything, and I will continue to post videos.